It is the Riot Podcast. Still here. Still waiting for you.
I think you're going to really like this podcast today. We had a really fun show.
We had a lot of fun today.
A lot of laughing, a lot of goofy.
There was a lot of Infinity War talk. In fact, I didn't even save all of it. At some point, I was just like, you know what? That's enough.
We have plenty for you.
But we talked a lot about Infinity War. A lot of people had a lot of things to say.
Yeah.
Tertiary things, of course, because there's no spoilers here. We haven't even seen it yet. I'm going to go in a couple of hours. Nikki is going to never go.
Well, maybe we'll see it down the road.
Yeah, like the original
the
Avengers,
long road
right?
When I die.
In heaven, I hope they have a movie theater because that's where Nikki's going to watch the Avengers.
Now I'll see, maybe one day.
So, as we said, a lot of that in the podcast. There's some Amazon Prime chat. There's some Snapchat chat. There's some
it works.
Chipotle chat. And let's see.
Oh, and an epic question of the morning, which goes back to the Infinity talk.
It does. It is the largest question of the morning we've ever had. Ever. So I think you're going to enjoy it.
That's why I included it in this podcast. So make sure you stay in contact with us. If you follow us on Twitter or if you join us at RadioU RIOT on Facebook, let us know what you think of Infinity Wars. Like, tell us what you thought.
Yeah. So you guys have a great weekend. Nikki and I, we're already having a great weekend.
The party has already started.
It's already started. So
have
you
a great
guys
day.
enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Sometimes a bad example is the best example. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
I want to talk about one of the greatest things that as a society we have ever done. And I don't want you to argue with me about it yet. Just hear me out. It's two words that I feel like, I don't know how old it is. In fact, I kind of earmarked for today. I should take some time and do some research. When did this emerge? But Nikki, the saltine cracker is really one of the best things we've ever done.
Like culinary wise or just?
I think in general. Like,
you think it's underrated?
It is underrated. And I think it's the proliferation and availability of the saltine cracker has undercut this modern day miracle. Do you know how good a saltine cracker is? Just get out a saltine cracker and eat one. And it's
but
just
now,
like,
people
man.
snub their nose at it. You don't get that. You get an assortment of other crackers.
That's exactly right. Last night on Facebook, I was like, man, guys, I love the saltine cracker. And people are like, well, I like Ritz. I like club crackers. Infuse it with more butter. And see, that's what happens.
There's lots of other fancy crackers.
We expand on it, and I get it. You know, well, now I don't need a saltine cracker. I can have a cookie. I can have a Dorito. And I am not here to say that the Ritz cracker is a bad cracker. I'm not here to say that the Dorito or the cookie or the brownie, that these are bad things. I'm just telling you there are building blocks in place. And you don't have a Dorito without a saltine cracker coming first.
It came first.
It paved a way. It paved a way.
Sure.
For these other crackers and other confectionery snack type, maybe not confections, but other chips for sure. The saltine cracker. And it's good. I was just sitting there last night eating some saltine crackers.
These are the deep thoughts if you're not following us that you're not getting, guys.
And I just thought to myself, no one talks about how good saltine crackers are, and somebody should.
I haven't had one since I've been sick, and even not this most recent. Like, it's been years, and normally you go to it when you're at your lowest.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said it. I'll tell you why I'm glad. Because last night, I got some saltines out. One of my roommates said to me, oh, are you sick?
Yeah, that's what you always think.
You know what I said? No. I just like these crackers. And I think that might be the thing that set me off. Like, look at how we have maligned and only associated this cracker with sickness, when in reality, it's delicious.
But it's similar to Sprite. Like you always usually tend to go for Sprite or a 7-Up. But even that is not so pigeonholed to sickness.
Guess what I was drinking while I ate them last night?
You had some Sprite.
I had some Sprite and some saltine crackers.
Well, no wonder you looked sick then.
I was watching Hulu.
Okay, well, maybe that's the heart of the problem.
Hey, listen, I'm not saying that I got it.
Do you want to get better or not?
I'm not saying that I've got it all together. I'm not saying that if you guys came and watched me at home that you'd be like, wow, I want to live like him. This is my best life now.
Crackers and Sprite and Hulu?
But man, I'll tell you what, that saltine cracker, it is a lovely little thing. Don't you do it. Everybody wants to jump up and tell me why it's not or what's better. No. Live in this moment with that saltine cracker. Get one out. Put some peanut butter on it or eat it plain.
The Riot is an award-winning morning show.
It's literally a medal for sucking. Now that is a medal for trying.
Okay.
RadioU.
Oh no, what's wrong?
You didn't hear the news?
No, what happened?
Nikki, there's a really good friend in your life. Somebody that you've relied on for years.
Yeah?
They've been a staple, like a saltine cracker.
Are they going away?
No.
Is it me or is it them?
It's you, Nikki. You're fired. Get out.
Bye-bye.
We'll FedEx you your stuff.
I'm going back to bed.
No, it's not that. It's a friend that granted, you have to pay them to be your friend, but the thing is, after a while, you forget you're paying them to be your friend, and they're just your friend.
And nowadays, it's fine.
And then pretty soon, they're like, hey, you know this friendship? It's not free. I'm going to need a little something.
Is Netflix raising their prices again?
No. What's your other friend?
My other friend?
Your other, see,
Amazon Prime?
It's a family member. Let's talk about a family member.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Were they raising Prime?
Oh, yeah.
Again?
Oh, yeah.
What are we even at?
100.
I don't even know anymore.
$119 a year.
That's like a day at Disney.
Starting May 11th.
Starting when?
May 11th.
Oh, no.
So that means when you renew, they got you.
What is it currently?
$100.
So they're raising by 19?
So it's going from 99 to 119.
Remember how we talked about porch piracy and you're like, what's the big deal if people are stealing things off the porches?
There you go.
Amazon will just go ahead and send a new one. Well, we're feeling it.
Is it that, or is Amazon
just gouging us?
Like, hey, you know what? We can't keep watching or making TV shows nobody watches for free.
Are we paying for Lord of the Rings right now? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Of course we are.
I don't want to pay for Lord of the Rings.
They paid,
$1
billion to make a Lord of the Rings TV show. You know what that means.
They should have asked us first if we wanted to.
They're like, hey, there should have been like a Lord of the Rings Prime.
Yeah, like if I wanted to give extra money, I could have to donate to it.
This important project that they have. But yeah, that $1 billion doesn't come from nowhere. You got to pay for it.
I did.
They were just like, all I want is free shipping.
Yeah, that's all we want.
I don't use your music service.
Yeah, but you'll watch the Lord of the Rings thing.
Yeah, I will. Dang it. So at this point, I'm just like, why pay yearly? I'll just freaking go to monthly now.
So what is it a month if you do it?
Isn't it?
I have a lot of monthly charges. I'd rather not add something else.
No. Go ahead. You know what? In some months, I'll just turn it off just for spite.
Can we?
Yeah, you can be like, I
can't make
for a
them
month.
mad though.
Well, my problem is, man, I buy too much stuff on Amazon. I'll be like, well, turn it back on. I need to get some shipping.
I need to buy something stupid.
Now turn it off.
They don't like that. All right, well, fine. We're mad, but what can you do about it?
Well, Nikki, you can, and I know this is going to sound like a bit much, but you could just cancel it.
I'm sorry, what?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I can't hear you.
Do you know what people? Do you know what Target would love?
Talking.
You know what Target would love? Target would love it if you would cancel your Amazon Prime membership.
And what? I'm supposed to order from their website?
That's right.
I can't do that.
Hey, Walmart's got their upcoming Amazon Prime competitive service where you'll get free 2-day shipping or in-store stuff.
Yeah, but that's like when, you go from one streaming service to the other and you have to learn the new ways and it doesn't look the same and you don't feel the same.
Well, actually, Walmart is in the middle of a massive rebranding of their website, and they say that Walmart 3.0 or whatever the heck it's going to be, it's going to look way more like Amazon.
Well, talk to me then, but until then, whatever.
I mean, seriously, aside from a forthcoming Lord of the Rings thing, I don't watch anything on Amazon.
But you want the Jack...
Yeah.
It's in August.
At the end of August. And the other thing is, I'm paid up through February of next year, so it's not like it matters.
You're in there.
But you know what? Next winter, I'm going to have a hard decision to make.
Until then, you're fine.
The Worst of the Riot box set is now available nowhere because we know you wouldn't want it anyway. It's the Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Well, Nikki, today's the day. Infinity War.
Let me tell you. true. I woke up during the middle of the night last night, and I just happened to roll over and look at Facebook for a few minutes while I contemplated if I wanted to go back to sleep. Everything was some sort of swear word followed by amazing or just lots of bold words for such an hour of the night. So I feel like the response has been pretty like, it's been amazing.
People seem to be enjoying it. And Nikki's exactly right. It's just one of those things where if you're paying attention to any kind of social media today, no one's saying, I liked it.
No, it's bolder words
okay.
than that.
It's like, you don't understand.
I saw a lot of caps on, too.
Lots of caps.
Like, people really don't usually exclaim that much online to that degree. And I thought, well, I think people like it.
You see, it seems as if people may be interested in it.
Or excited about it.
Something to that effect.
And I know you're seeing it today.
I am seeing it today.
Maybe do a little review when it's done.
I might, just because it's such a thing, that the peoples are talking about.
Just watch your words. No,
if you come out with an inability to control your tongue,
then wait a few minutes.
Then you need to wait before you say anything. Yeah. So I was just going to sneak in by myself, but Eric and I are going now. So because yesterday Eric's like, so what are you doing?
Well, at first he wanted to see it, and I was like, well, why don't you go see, like maybe not one of the like primetime spots of. He's like, there's not going to be any seats. And I go, well, just look. There was some seats left, and he said they were pretty good.
Yeah, the seats we got were good enough to justify going. That's the other thing that's funny now is, like, back in the day, it would have been like, all right, we're going, but we got to get there 2 hours early. We're going to wait in line outside the theater. We're going to get good seats. I used to do that all the time. Now, in the last, 2-3 years, it's all about reserved seating. I love it so much.
And it's a game to see if you can miss enough of the trailers to make it on time.
The only thing that's bad about the whole, like, hey, I got my seat saved or whatever, is that, like, if
you don't know who's going to sit next to you.
Well, no, like if you have a last-minute friend, like, oh, hey, are you guys going? And it's like, yeah,
it's not like an airline seat where you can be the uncomfortable person going, could you move and trade with this person?
No way, dude. It is like, look.
It is what it is.
You can come, but you're sitting all the way up front in the left-hand corner. And the other thing about it is that if I can't get a good seat, I'm not going to go. If the seat is not good enough, I'm out. Mm-hmm. And so that's the thing. I was listening to somebody's podcast the other day and like, yeah, we went to see it, but we were all the way up front on the left-hand side. And
why
I was
go?
Like, then in that case, no, I wouldn't even go. I'd just be like, I already know I'm getting a crappy seat, whatever. Like old school when seats weren't reserved, it's a crapshoot. You don't know where you're going to sit until you get in there.
Sure.
So I understand how you could end up in the front row, but to pay money to sit there by choice, oh no, friend.
Just wait.
No, I'm afraid that's not going to work.
Well, let us know what you think. And don't forget, your question of the morning is coming up. And it's been a theme week.
It has.
So if you want to do an Avengers question, someone posted to us.
What kind of war is it?
I think his name was Zach, but he had posted, he said we should ask all the movies. And I thought, oh, no.
Can someone do all 19?
That's even too much work for us.
Would be.
See what you come up with.
That would be the biggest question of the morning answer we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
All 19
in the
movies.
history of this show. Makes it tempting.
And I don't know if we're ready for that.
The Riot has a problem with authority.
It's a little rule. Maybe you're not familiar with it. Nobody tells me what to do, ever.
Finals week is approaching. For some of you, it's now. For some of you, it's not. You've
really
got
just
time.
depends.
It depends on when classes start, et cetera, et cetera. But at the University of Utah, Finals week is becoming a thing, and they have built what they're calling an art installation. But is it? Is it really?
Like the students have?
Mm-hmm. They've built what they're calling...
Is it a sad one or...
Kind of.
About the finals?
It's a cry closet.
Oh, really?
It's there at the library. You can go into the cry closet.
If you need a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
Yeah. So but they say it's art. They're just showing it to you like, look here.
Oh, so you can't actually use it?
No, it seems to me that you actually can. You can people are taking pictures inside, and you could step in and be in the cry closet.
Is there room for one? Like, is it a personal moment? Or is this like, hey, I got 15 of my friends, we're Instagramming it from the cry closet?
No, like looking at it, you could fit a couple of people inside the cry closet, but not a lot. And let's see, what's the inscription for it? That it's a safe place for stressed out students.
Now, technically, any closet could become a cry closet.
Hey, man, I've turned a couple of closets into cry closets.
At work, at school.
Work at home.
Where everything, wherever you need, a cry closet can be there.
How about the cry dressing room?
Aw.
So, just whatever.
Just the bathroom.
Anywhere you can find that thing, it can be your cry closet. The problem with the cry closet is this, and I'm sorry to tell you this, the finals go in there with you.
Sometimes people just need a moment.
You can't, and you know what? But you can have that moment anywhere. Though, again, sometimes it is good to have a place that's set aside that's just like, hey, this is our cry space. We're just going to let it all out.
Maybe it's nice that they're doing this, even though it is, like it's a statement piece, it's art, but then it's showing you, and other people feel that way too. Like if you want to cry, you can go cry, and it's okay. Cry. Yeah, it's more normal than you think.
The only problem about that is that, you're in the cry closet having a cry, and people are like, we're snapping this! And they fling the door open, and they're like, oh,
you
crap.
In there, and everybody can always tell. I hate when you've been crying because your eyes show it.
It is a pain where you're just like, can I just not?
It's allergies. It's not. I'm not crying, I promise.
Man, I don't know what's on these walls, but I'm definitely allergic to it. Oh,
There's
gosh.
something in here. Well, if you're going through finals, take a deep breath.
And
you're going to make it and cry if you need to.
As I was going to say, as Nikki said, any closet can be a cry closet. So if it frustrates you that no one has built you a cry closet, then you just go cry about that.
Did you see Tim's text right now?
I did not.
You should pull it up. Tim, thank you for listening. When we play that bed where we go...
The clap.
He says, it's funny, the clapping part, I clap along every time, and everyone in my work looks at me like I've lost my mind, but I refuse to tell them why I do it. Good job there, Tim.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Whether you're in the cry closet or standing on lightning, you want to make sure everybody gets a shot of what you're doing, which is why Snapchat introduces their new spectacles.
Oh, new ones. Okay.
Yeah, have you seen this? They announced them yesterday, which the rumors have been floating for a while. Hey, there's going to be new Snapchat spectacles out there, but they are now official. And I believe you can go ahead and order them if you would like to. Only $149.99.
Guess I don't remember what the original spectacles were sold for.
I believe they were $129.99 because this says it's $20 more.
Well, I mean, like when they originally came out the first time. I didn't know if spectacles have come down in price.
I don't think so. I think they have warehouses full of them. So
yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
It's not a thing.
That is true.
With these, you could take the old school spectacles and have them retrofitted with prescription lenses. They offer that out of the gate here. So if you want them to be like prescription sunglasses,
you just order it that way?
I guess you can go ahead and order them that way. The idea here is that it's an integrated video camera in your glasses. You can record clips of up to 30 seconds, which you can then share via Snapchat. They say that they have improved wireless connectivity, enabling you to do things faster. You can record up to 70 videos, 3 to 4 times as many photos as the previous ones that on a single charge.
Yeah.
So you can store 150 videos or about 3,000 photos. All videos are recorded in HD.
And I'm sorry, did you say they're waterproof?
I did not say that.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Waterproof, mostly the design. I mean, there's only so much they can do. The design, that's just slightly updated, but they say the tweaks are more, behind the scenes.
Okay. So, yeah, you're right. The aesthetics look exactly the same.
Mm-hmm, but they're waterproof, higher def videos. That's the main thing.
They're available now in the U.S., UK, Canada, and France. I have yet to see someone using them in the wild.
I've seen a couple of people years, but we're talking when they first came out.
Wasn't that last year, though, or was it 2 years ago?
2016.
Okay.
They came out, but they came out and they were like, oh, you had to buy them. But then they came out with those... it's not an ATM vending machine style.
Oh yeah,
and they had the vending machines out where you could buy it, and it wasn't a problem. That's when I started to see more and more because if they were near the vending machine, they put them on. But I just don't snap like I used to, and I'm not wearing them. I guess.
Yeah. Nikki sold out to Instagram.
Oh yeah, I was happy to do that.
That's where she lives.
Insta stories all the way. Way to go!
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Now, if the glasses were from another party that made it work with a bunch of different social media sites, well, then that would be better, wouldn't it?
Isn't it funny how that's what we all want, and that's the one thing that all social media sites don't want?
They don't want you to play well with others, but we want something that plays well with all the sites we're going to be sending stuff to.
They intentionally do not want you being able to share it more than one place.
How awesome would it be? You're like, oh, excuse me, I've got to change out my glasses. And so they go from the Snapchat ones, and if Instagram had one, you're like, oh, yeah, I got to put my Instagram glasses on.
Oh, and then at the very end, you're like, don't forget about your twit vids.
Exactly.
Oh, it's not even worth the effort.
You've got like 18 pairs of glasses in your bag.
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go!
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
This will be the longest answer session for the question of the morning.
Ever. So here's the deal. The question is all 19 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You must tell us all 19 of the movies.
I have 3 people lined up to try.
Okay.
And we're going to start with Phil.
All right, Phil was first. Now, this is for Riot Gear, and we're throwing in a Radio U pop socket.
Do you need an order, or do you want them just straight up?
Can you do it in order?
Like release order?
Yeah.
I could try.
If not, just...
All right, well, let's start. Okay. Let's try that first and see how you do, all right?
Okay.
All right, ready, set, go.
Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2.
Yep.
Thor.
Yes.
Captain America.
Yes.
Avengers.
Okay, that's phase 1. You've got phase 1 down. So all right, moving on to phase 2. Here we go.
All right.
Okay. Avengers. Then it goes Iron Man 3.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
You got to work your way through some...
2, Winter Soldier.
Okay, yep.
Thor 2, Dark World.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Then it goes Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1.
Okay.
Yep.
Then we have it's Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Then we have Ant-Man.
All right, that's phase 2.
Okay.
We are through phase 2. We're in phase 3.
Phil, this is the most intense it's ever been.
It's getting real, dude.
Right.
It's getting
real.
real. Okay, come on.
Following Ant-Man, you can do this.
Okay.
All right, Ant-Man. We have Doctor Strange.
Okay, all right.
We have Guardians Volume 2.
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
We have Captain America Civil War.
Yes.
Okay. You're almost there.
Yeah, you're getting real close.
We have Black Panther.
Yes.
Yes.
We have Thor Ragnarok.
We're so close.
Yes.
All right. Oh, gosh.
You have to get it.
Come on, Phil. Come on, man. What?
The Avengers Infinity War?
Boom. That's it.
Is that all of them?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, well, okay, wait.
I think you missed...
there's technically one movie that you left out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I said Incredible Hulk.
It came out last year.
Ant-Man, Doctor Strange,
Iron
War.
Man was in it.
Oh, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay, there it is. You know, it was a Sony...
Phil, we are so proud of you, Phil. We want to call your mom and tell you, look what you did. He knew the ball. Phil, that was exciting.
I'm telling you,
truly
just
exciting.
won the Infinity War.
Oh, well, the prize is yours.
Yeah,
again.
it is.
Very impressive. Very impressive. And I felt like he wasn't going from a list. That was from the heart.
Actually, he was all the way chronologically, all the way through Ant-Man, and he skipped Civil War and did Doctor Strange and Guardians. But you know what?
They're all there.
They were all there.
Congratulations, Phil. That's
Thank
Riot
you.
Club is yours.
Yeah.
We've got CDs and our Radio U Pop Socket because you're the winner. You need to hang tight for me, okay?
Yeah, hang on, bro.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked it. That was intense.
You know what?
That was intense.
You enjoyed it, right?
I
enjoyed it.
had a great
It was
time with
happening
that.
right there.
Again, congratulations, Phil, for getting that correct.
That was the longest question of the morning ever.
Yay!
Ever.
The worst of the riot has no expiration date. It's born spoiled. It's the riot on Radio U.
Let's talk about your E. coli. You really shouldn't be eating it.
Well, we talked, was it earlier this week or last week, that basically the CDC has said no to romaine lettuce. And you're like, why? What's wrong with that? But like, your Caesar salad lettuce. But the romaine lettuce has had such a big problem with E. coli that they tried to recall.
E. coli.
I know, right? People are sick. Hey, hang on.
Shut up.
But they've been trying to recall the lettuce, but it's been so big that they just said, if you have romaine lettuce, throw it out.
They did. Literally, the CDC finally issued the edict I've been waiting my whole life to hear.
Throw out the salad lettuce.
Throw out the lettuce.
Just don't keep it. It's not worth the risk.
But think about this. At your house, you're like, okay, I'll throw out the lettuce. I paid $3 for this bag of lettuce. Oh, my gosh. What if you were a company that bought a few thousand $3 bags of lettuce? What if you had 10,000 $3 bags of lettuce? You wouldn't be as quick to be like, we'll just throw it all out then. It's fine.
Well, let's wait and see.
So if there was a company that really, really shouldn't be on the forefront of saying,
Chipotle.
No, we're not throwing out the lettuce.
It's Chipotle, isn't it? Is it Chipotle?
Ladies and gentlemen,
no, it's not.
get
Is
Nikki
it?
her prize.
I won.
Chipotle says, hey, we got it from California. We know it's not the bad lettuce. We're not throwing it out.
Is that really what they said?
Well, I mean, not like that, but kind of. Something like that. So it was them and another restaurant called Pret a Manger. Mm-hmm. They both have just been like, we know where our lettuce is from. So we don't have anything to worry about.
Right.
Nope.
I wouldn't be so
idea.
confident.
So the CDC has kind of countered that, and they're just saying, look, if you don't know where your lettuce is from, you shouldn't be eating it.
And we're just in the middle, and I'm just trying to get my Caesar salad, but they're not even carrying it at Costco during this time. Mm-hmm. So it's been annoying.
So what they're saying, though, is that the CDC is saying this lettuce, it's coming from farms in Arizona. That's where the outbreak has happened.
Started.
But here's what you got to think about. You're like, oh, they're saying our lettuce is from California. It's safe. The only thing that made me feel safe about it being from California is that it was American lettuce. Now you're telling me Arizona?
It's the actual culprit.
Arizona's
still
got
hurts, right?
The poop lettuce. Dang it.
They're very worried. Not Chipotle or this other restaurant, but the CDC
Obviously
is saying it's just better to throw it out.
Chipotle needs to get out there. I mean, they got a new president.
Oh, they should have made a big thing of it.
They're like on Snapchat, like, here we are throwing out the lettuce.
You know, like when you see the documentaries where they've gathered all the drugs and they're going to set it on fire or something.
Exactly that.
Because they're like, we're not doing anything with this. We're destroying it because it's so bad. They should have taken all their lettuce and done that same thing.
It's gone,
to make
dude.
a statement that they don't want you to get sick.
We burned it.
Instead, they're like, oh, we're fine.
You know what? Who are you going to... Listen, as Chipotle, we know all about E. coli. Believe me.
Well, they were mostly norovirus, weren't they?
In 2015, Chipotle reported 55 cases of E. coli. I'm sorry. That number grew to 500. But it started with 55.
I see.
Then the norovirus thing, that was 2017. But hey, you know what? They're doing fine. Don't worry about it. You can eat their lettuce.
The riot used to be 3 people.
Please tell me we're not discussing video games again.
The other guy didn't make it. It's the riot.
You know, I don't want to spend the whole day talking about the Avengers. But boy, you guys just keep texting me about it.
We can't help it.
So, you know what? First off...
It's like you guys are our in-theater reporters.
That's what it feels like.
Some of you currently watching the movie.
So Jeff just texted. He says, last night at Infinity War, a woman screamed when a character was injured. The woman who screamed never recovered.
It was too much for her?
I will tell you, I'm not going to name the movie or the person. But I took someone to the... Well, I didn't take them, actually. We went as a group to the movies. And she started crying towards the end of the movie, and we all had to stay for like a solid 5 minutes or longer afterwards because she was crying so hard.
Oh, you had to recover.
That she couldn't stand up and walk out of the theater. Like her body was being racked, like with sobs as it was going on. And I had many thoughts about it. One of them was like, man, it's really awesome that she's so passionate about something. And then I thought, good Lord, what else in her life could she do this kind of crying about?
And you don't want to be there for that.
Can you imagine how conflict could just escalate if you can cry this much in a movie.
You then realize, like, her boyfriend's like, never bring anything up. You never want the crying to start. Never, ever.
Her boyfriend's like, you're right, I'm wrong. You're the best, I'm the worst. It's all my fault.
Just don't cry.
Oh, my gosh, dude. You just had to get out. Now that we're done talking about Avengers, let's talk about Andrew. He says he had Chipotle catered at work Wednesday, passed on the lettuce. He figured risking the norovirus with the rest was enough.
Was not worth it.
Which is great, Andrew, because the norovirus is very hard to catch.
That's. Do you hear Obi Stone on that?
Almost impossible to get.
Because someone listening's like, well, I didn't know that. I thought it was rather easy to get. And it just, sticks around forever. Obi was teasing right there. That was his teasing tone.
The norovirus is among the most communicable diseases
it's a monster.
On the planet.
It's the cruise ship monster.
Yeah. But, Andrew, real talk, though, like if they had Chipotle brought in, I'd do the same thing. Be like, I'll take...
well, the lettuce is always the filler that everybody's trying to put on all your stuff. So they're trying to make the weight limit because of the lettuce.
Well, on that, it's like, it's not so much weight as it is mass. It's
yeah,
like,
it's
all
the
right,
bulk of it.
Put a bunch of lettuce in there. Look how full your burrito is.
They'll never know that you didn't give us anything else.
I know. I'll know. I know what you're doing with that.
That's what they're hoping.
I know what you're doing with that. Come on.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Who hasn't thrown up in a while? Anybody?
It's been a while.
Have you found yourself like, you know what I could really use is a good cleansing vomit. So, hang on.
It's a much to hear that noise. It's much. It's too much.
It's too much?
It's too much.
Sure it's not just enough?
No, I think it's too much.
All right, well, I've got something super gross for you. You ever have an elastic band that you like to keep around your arm?
Like a hair tie?
Whatever.
Or a rubber band?
Sure, a rubber band. I had like maybe it's one of those things you've seen where it's like a rubber band, and then if you say something, you do the wrong thing, you snap it.
No, I used to do that to stop biting nails. You flick it.
Oh, why?
Well, it's supposed to train you that if you go to do the habit, then you don't want to do the habit anymore because you're going to get hurt.
Oh, yeah. No, I love biting my nails.
Why would you want to do that?
Why do you want to take that away?
Well, I didn't want that, so that's an approach some people take.
Has it ever occurred to you that our natural instinct to bite our nails is to keep them short? That's great.
No, but I mean, for me, I file them down, and that's a better approach.
Says who?
Says me for my nails.
Okay, now it's about value judgment.
Just me. No,
now,
you don't grow yours as long as mine, so no.
That's fine. No, I don't, because I get them to a certain length and they're ready to be harvested.
Okay, moving on.
So much fun. Like
harvested is the worst word to use. What? It's the worst word to use.
Oh, my little darlings. You're growing up really nice.
Stop it.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so gross.
You've got an elastic
rubber band, yeah.
Something around your arm, and then one day you decide to leave it there. And you leave it there another day, and another day, and another day, and pretty soon you just forget about it. And
How do you forget a band on your arm?
Well, pretty soon it grows into your skin, and you don't even notice.
No.
Anybody ready? Okay, because that's what this 4-year-old girl in China did.
Oh, and it grew into her arm?
It grew into her arm.
So maybe, what's the ones that, like the rubber ones that have like motivational messages on them?
It's not like that.
Not like that one?
No, it's literally just like a little elastic ring.
Rubber band.
Yeah, thing.
Aww.
And I've got graphic photos of the surgery of them cutting it out.
Wow, that bad.
Oh, you want to see them, Nikki, don't you? She does.
I kind of do.
She does. She can't.
Because in my mind, I can't understand how that happens.
Nikki can't resist gross pictures on the internet.
It's terrible. I don't like when you describe them to me, but I don't mind looking at it.
Yeah, that's the thing that's weird is you don't want to hear about it.
But to look at them.
Me talking about throwing up, fine, but you're like, oh, I want to see the picture of them cutting the elastic band out of her arm.
me.
Show it to me.
Oh, poor girl. Why weren't... Oh, my gosh, it's bad.
I told you.
What happened? Is it in her arm? Oh, it looks like a worm is around her arm. That's so bad. That's so... Oh, it's so bad. I shouldn't have looked. What is that? That's way worse than I thought. You were not selling it enough. That was way worse than ever. ever.
Really?
What happened?
The things that you've looked at, and this is the one that pushes you
her
over?
Her little elbow is cut open to get the band out. That is weird.
Yeah.
Shouldn't someone pay attention to her?
It seems like at some point you would have been like, hey, kid, like,
what's on your arm?
Did you ever take a bath? Like, was there ever a bath involved? Because you would think in the bath it would be like, and the armband came off.
Yes, I would think so too. It took 30 minutes to remove the band.
This is like that guy we read about.
They say a bangle, like it looks like a worm wrapped around your arm, and then the skin is just completely over it.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Yeah. It's like that guy that grew into his couch. They had to surgically remove his couch.
Well, I mean, that's because he was sitting there. This girl, like, someone is supposed to watch over her.
Yeah.
At 4.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. At 4, somebody should have been helping her.
She complained about pain and numbness, and then the parents became worried after seeing how red and swollen it had gotten. Should have gotten involved a little earlier.
Well, you know what, Nikki? Right now, do you know what you're doing?
Poor kid.
You're parent shaming.
Am I judging?
You're parent shaming right now.
I think someone should.
You're bangle shaming.
No, I am, and I think they did wrong. That was bad parents.
So much for a judgment-free zone.
Not here. That's too bad.
So much for it.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the RadioU app.
Well, Nikki, it's been 5 minutes.
You want to talk more movie news?
No, I don't. I want to take more text messages about the Avengers.
I like that you guys...
That's all there is.
I do like that you guys include us. I mean, we're stuck in this studio. We haven't seen it yet. And it's just been nice to hear and feel like we're going to see the movie with you.
Okay, here's the drama that unfolds. Was it Jeff? Yeah, Jeff texted and said, hey, last night at Infinity War, some lady started screaming when someone was injured. Because, like,
no, not in real life, but in the movie.
Yeah, in the movie. Sorry, it's a really important
part to that.
Really
yes, it is.
Important distinction.
Yes, it is.
She started screaming and then started crying, and he says she never recovered, so she had kind of a rough time coming through the movie. I've experienced that, not myself, where I had to be carried out, but I've gone to the movies where people have been so devastated by it that they just couldn't take it and they had to leave.
By something that happened to a character.
They couldn't leave. And then Destiny texts and she says, yeah, I've cried like that at a movie. The movie Me Before You.
Which one was that one?
I don't know. Amazing movie, but need tissues. Destiny. Me Before You. Is Iron Man in that one?
No. That story.
Oh, I've seen that on Netflix. Like I've seen that poster.
Sure.
That's gone by. And no.
Obi tries to not go into movies like that where it's more of an emotionally driven story.
No, typically I don't. Okay. You understand. It's all manipulation. Like stories.
Oh, now don't ruin it. Yes, we know it is.
Well, no. Like now, Nikki, don't be angry.
Okay. But...
I just want to talk. Okay. All stories are emotional manipulation.
Of course.
All of them are.
Some just have Iron Man in it or...
And so for me, if you're telling me a story that has emotional moments, fine. When you have crafted a story that's real only purpose seems to be to wring as much sadness out of me as possible, I feel like the difference between me is some people will go into a film like that and it's cathartic.
Sure.
Like it's this huge release and and then when they leave the theater, like I feel so much better. Now I'm happy. I go into a movie like that and 3 weeks later, I'm still like, well, we're all going to die. So why are we even going to work?
It works the opposite way.
You know, so just some real talk about how I process.
Sure. The movies.
So my process is if somebody says to me, hey, it's great. You're going to cry so much. I'm like, well, I'm not going to see it then because I don't want to cry so much.
But Obi, we'll see Avengers today, so he's going later.
It's kind of like that thing that Eric always points out to me. You'll see these videos where people are like, come to our conference, and they show you conference videos of people crying and waving their hands. And I'm like, I don't want to do either of those things. I don't want to go and cry. Are they being held up right now? Is there a gun off screen I don't know about?
That marketing does not work for you.
It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, right.
I mean, maybe it works for other people, and that's fine.
But not for you.
It's the worst of the riot because calling it the best of the riot would be a lie. RadioU.
Yay!
All right,
Star
Nikki,
Trek.
Tell them what you told me off air.
Oh, I like the Chris's of our entertainment industry. It's not like I love them, but I find they seem very nice. Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, and Chris Hemsworth.
You're in.
So Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy, or Chris Pine was in Wonder Woman, wasn't he? Yeah.
And Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't see him in that. I'm not supporting him in that. What?
He's freaking Captain Kirk,
wasn't
the
he?
main character in Star Trek.
I forgot that. That is, well, look at that. That works nicely.
Are we having this conversation right now?
We all don't follow Star Trek as much as you.
You called him out. It would have been
I didn't even remember he was in Star Trek. I didn't remember at all. I promise you.
It would be one thing if. All right. You know what? It's fine, though.
Don't get upset about that. I now
Do I seem upset?
I stand corrected, and you're fine. So what's up with Star Trek?
Well, they just announced Star Trek 4. The Wales one? Oh, no, that was the other Star Trek 4. New Star Trek 4.
So what are they doing?
They are... Okay.
Is Chris Pine still the captain?
He is. I want to show you guys something that I'm calling smoke and mirrors. The big news that they want you to focus on is that they have announced the first female director to direct a Star Trek film, and her name is S.J. Clarkson. She's done a lot of, I think this is going to be her first movie. She's done a ton of TV for Dexter, Bates Motel, Orange is the New Black, and Jessica Jones.
She's a British film and television director. So she's done a couple of movies.
So they're making a big deal like, hey, first female director for a Star Trek series. And that's the headline.
Yeah.
That's the one that everybody was like, hey, big news, big news, big news. And I feel like the thing that is also in there that nobody's really talking about, but sounds like they're planting a seed of sucking and they're intending to water it until it grows into a huge field of Star Trek sucking. Okay? So
yes, let's take a trip there.
Let's talk about that seed, Nikki.
So what's the problem?
The story is going to revolve around time travel, in which Chris Pine, Captain Kirk, is going to go back in time and meet his dad, Chris Hemsworth. Now, remember, Chris Hemsworth is in the original Star Trek movie.
Is he?
Yeah. For the first 10 minutes of that movie, he plays a very pivotal, emotional role in those first 10 minutes of Captain Kirk's dad. He dies in the first 10 minutes of the original Star Trek movie. Spoilers for an 8-year-old movie. And so they look at it and they're like, okay.
Now he's still Chris Hemsworth. Now, yeah.
He's so big and like not just the muscles, but he's such a star.
They're capitalizing on the 10 minutes from that and to make a whole movie out of it by making them go back in time.
Yep.
Well, it's not like it hasn't been done before.
Not saying it hasn't.
Sure.
And, the other Star Trek 4 involved time travel. But I just want to say it, Nikki. I just feel like in the middle of all this brouhaha where they're like, hey, guys, female director, hey, guys. And they're like, and it involves time travel.
And the Chris's, like the Andes. Yeah. It's the Chris's.
Time travel, it's fine.
Okay, well, I didn't know Chris Hemsworth was in the Star Trek movie, the first one.
I'm going to say something that you're not going to like.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell it.
Don't tell me that I'd like the movie. Okay, now you don't have to talk to me.
All right, here's Social Club Misfits.
I don't need to hear if I
the very first reboot, that Star Trek movie, I think you would like it a lot.
Just because it's Chris Pine or because the actual movie?
No. The movie itself. That is a movie that people that don't like Star Trek, it's great. It's directed by J.J. Abrams.
I like him.
It's got a little bit of a romance in it.
I like that.
And you know what? It's a romance.
I don't like time travel.
No, there's no time travel.
I don't like space.
I think that you would. I swear to you, I think you would like it a lot.
I have a Google Doc. I'll add it to it of movies you think that I would like.
It's fine. It's fine. But I'm just telling you.
Maybe I'll go and watch the trailer. Just at least that.
It's got Chris Hemsworth in it and Chris Pine. And why can't I say Hemsworth? Just can't get it out.
Don't want to talk to the Riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2 Radio U.
It's been a contentious day for text messages. We keep hearing from people, and you guys can text us anytime you riot.
Now, you can also call if you'd like to, but if you rather...
Nobody ever wants to call.
But what's hilarious is you will write us the longest text messages we ever see, and I think you're driving, so I'm a little worried.
So let's hear from some Riot friends here. Nikki, Mark in Edmond, Oklahoma says that he's not a Star Trek fan, but the first reboot movie is great. I even own it.
Oh, when we talked about Star Trek, the first one, if I should watch it?
Yeah, like that was 3 minutes ago, so don't act like you barely remembered. Don't act like you just barely remember.
I was trying to catch them up, so they're like, I wonder what they're talking about.
Okay, sure. Andy says, Obi, I'm with you.
Thank
I feel
you,
like
Mark.
her directing, it's going to lead to a mediocre to poor made movie. Jessica Jones is a great example of mediocre work. Andy, the thing that bothers me is that that's not remotely what I said.
Obi was mentioning they're saying there's going to be a female director for the new Star Trek movie.
And I feel like that piece of news is what they're using to hide the fact that they have a really bad idea for a story about Captain Kirk time traveling to meet his dad just because Chris Hemsworth is popular.
That's what Obi was saying.
That's the heart of it. But you know what, Nikki, that's what you call negative feedback. Somebody repeats back to you what you've said and gives you a chance to clarify. It doesn't mean that it's technically negative. It just means that you've been given a chance.
Chris, I love your text message. That's hilarious. Well, when I said I don't like time travel movies. I don't. And I don't like stuff in space. So that's why I tend to not watch Star Trek. But he said, wait, did Nikki just say I don't like time travel and I don't like space? Can we just put Obi in the right channel and Nikki in the left so he can unplug the speaker for me for the rest of the day? Very nice, Chris.
Hey, Nikki. It's a thing, you know?
I know. My apologies.
Jay in Pickerington says, Obi, don't forget the other Trek news they aren't shining a light on. Apparently, they're going to go ahead and make a movie, the Star Trek 4 and the Tarantino rated R Star Trek. Jay, that'll never happen.
Oh, they're going to go...
They did say they're making... They're saying that they're making Star Trek 4, but they're also moving forward on this other Star Trek movie idea, the one that Tarantino had. I am sure that they would like to make that movie.
Oh, got ya.
But, I don't think they're willing to make an R-rated Star Trek film.
That franchise is normally not that style of violence. It's different.
Yeah. So Ryan in Midland says, watch Star Trek, Nikki.
We talked a lot about Star Trek this morning. I think Ryan and everybody else should be glad that we're getting this news out to you.
Well, I mean...
And I'm still here, so I might not watch it, but I'm here with you guys.
Oh, Nikki, thanks so much for being here.
You're welcome.
You know what? That's great.
You're very welcome.
I really appreciate it. I do.
And I'm supporting you. What else do you need?
What would we do without you, Nikki? I have a little something for you that, let me just skip ahead. Here you go. This is for you. Wait for it. It's building, Nikki. Here we go. You ready? Nikki! Standing strong! What would we do without you, Nikki? I'm so glad!
I'm still here! You know, it's a lot to hear this stuff every day, guys. It's a lot. It's a lot, and I am still here. Even if I don't want to watch the movie.
So glad. Still here, Nikki.
Are you proud of yourself? Pretty proud, aren't you?
You know, I couldn't have done it if you hadn't exactly chosen those
words.
The
lyrics for it exactly to a T.
But thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I think I'm crying a little. I don't know why. Oh, do I feel supported back? I don't think I do.
I gotta cough a lot.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
I've turned a couple of closets into cry closets.